Hey guys, this is Shane here from Echo Soundworks. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at 3 creative auto filter techniques you can use to make your tracks more interesting. So we're going to be looking at these techniques in a future-based song in this video. But you can use these ideas or these tips in many different genres, right? It's pretty much any genre you want. So I'm going to be using the stock auto filter in Logic X in this video, but you can do the same things I'll be doing with other auto filters. And I know Ableton's got a great one. You can do it really easily in FL Studio as well. So what is an auto filter? Let's start there. All right, so here is the auto filter that comes with Logic 10. Now an auto filter is going to give you subtractive synthesis level control over your sound. So you see here we have a filter, which I have set to a low pass filter. Right, we have an envelope that will track the incoming sound, and you can set a threshold and you can create an envelope shape. So let's turn this into a little pluck. This is just the default sound in SERUM. Right, and now it sounds plucky. Right, so we also have an LFO, so we can introduce movement into the sound. And we have some distortions, both pre-filter and post-filter. So when would you want to use an auto filter? Well, there's a few reasons why I like to use an auto filter and why I find myself using one quite frequently. The first is when I want to do interesting things to the sound. I want to automate certain parameters within the auto filter to add movement to a sound. Now, the second way in which I find myself using an auto filter all the time, especially for future bass, is when I create a chord sound in a synth like, say, SERUM, and there's some type of envelope or LFO modulating parts of that sound in the synth, and then I use a sample that I'm trying to layer with that sound, I will use an auto filter to help mimic that sound, and we're going to look at that in a second in this video. All right, so let's take a listen to this track, and then we're going to start to pepper in some creative uses of the auto filter. All right, so this main sound here, not the main sound, the main chord sound, I made in SERUM. Now, let's say I wanted to tuck in a vocal sound like this with that sound. Right, that's going to sit on top of the chords in this example. It's going to be out in front of the mix even. So enter the auto filter. I'm going to use this to shape basically the sound to match my chords here, which I bounced out from SERUM. So I already kind of have this pre-set up, but it's pretty simple. I load up a filter, load up an LFO, set my rate to match. And now I have the sound that I have a nice layer that's adding a unique element to my chord layer. And it fits my song. Now, if I play it all together. All right, so this next technique might seem a little bit weird at first, but give it a chance, try it out, because you can get some really cool results with it. So what I like to do is I like to throw an auto filter on a hi-hat loop or a top loop, and I like to automate the LFO amount and the LFO rate, sometimes separately, sometimes at the same time, because you can create this almost kind of unique polyrhythm sound to certain sections of a more of a basic kind of a standard hi-hat loop or top loop. So let's isolate the drums in this track and take a listen. Right, so these sound cool. We have an instance of battery, which is where the bulk of the drums are being triggered from. That's that MIDI region right here. And for those of you who are interested, we are going to release the drums that you hear in this track for free. We've been making a Flume-inspired drum kit. We were going to release as a paid product, but then we thought, let's just release it for free. So that's what you hear here. Now, down beneath that, we have a top loop or a hi-hat loop. Now, the actual sounds are pretty cool. We have, a little bit of panning out left and right, but the actual rhythm, the main driving rhythm's pretty basic. It's basically right? So what I can do is I can use an auto filter to spice this up. And I've already done this. I've automated this off camera so you guys don't have to see that process happen, but it's pretty simple. It's basically load up the auto filter on your track, have that here, and you can see here that I have some automation lanes, and I have the modulation. I'm automating the modulation of the cutoff as well as the rate. So if I open up my filter, you'll notice that this slider here, 0 to 100, is going to go up and down, and the rate's going to move as well. Right, so it's just adding some movement to the sound. Now you can just play around with it and mess around. I like to do it real time. I like to actually automate that in with touch automation active, whether that's assigned to a mod wheel or my mouse. I just have fun doing that, but you can just draw it in from scratch too. So this is what it sounds like now. So you can hear that little part right here. That wouldn't be there if the auto filter's off. All right, so the final technique we're gonna look at in this video is something I think is really important to getting a good sounding feature-based drop, especially in 2019. And an auto filter plugin or effect makes this really easy to do. So basically what we wanna do is we want to change up the movement, change up the rhythm, right? We looked at the chords previously. They sounded cool, they were good sounding chords, but they were basically just da 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 da, right? Da 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 da. So what we can do with an auto filter is we can change obviously the rate of the movement, say with the actual rate and the LFO control, and we can even move our cutoff amount up and down, so we can strategically kind of make the sound more filtered or more bright at key points within the drop. So I've already done that here, and you can see I have 3 automation lanes. We have the cutoff modulation, which is this knob here. We have the auto filter rate, and we have the auto filter cutoff. So let's play this. Right, so it filters down a little bit at the end, and let's listen to it in context now. All right, guys, that's going to sum up this video. If you have any questions or comments, post those, and we'll try to get back to you as soon as we can. If you guys like the drums in this video, we are going to drop a free Flume-inspired drum pack. You guys have been requesting it for quite some time. It's almost finished. We were going to release it as a paid product, but we thought, why not just release it for free? So go follow us on Instagram if you haven't already, because that's where we will be announcing our free Flume-inspired drum pack if you guys want those types of sounds. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, please do that. The support really does mean a lot, and we're really close to 15,000 subscribers. Let's hit that milestone. When we do, we're going to do a little bit of a giveaway. So subscribe and hit that notification bell so you guys stay up to date with all of the content we're releasing. All right, guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.